Hi, my name is Jim Poole, and I'm here to answer a question we get often, and that is, how is NuCalm different? This isn't a question we had to answer for years. We've been around for 17 years. We've been serving discrete audiences for 17 years, from elite military warfighters across Special Forces, Navy SEALs, Air Force Special Operations Command, across BORTAC and BORSTAR, the FBI Hostage Rescue Team, the FedEx Pilots Union, doctors, surgeons, 79 professional sports teams, and cancer patients. We didn't get this question a lot. But life is different today. We're experiencing the highest levels of stress, anxiety, fear, uncertainty. And I don't need to tell you this, your central nervous system feels it every day. And with this chaos and with this challenge for humans, in capitalism, there'll be a plethora of gizmos and gadgets and apps that make claims that they can help. So, how is NuCalm different? Let's start by answering that question with one simple word: science. We have it. Most of these other things don't. And when I say science, I mean it. 36 years and $55 million of patented neuroscience. The only patent in the world for balancing the nervous system. The only patent in the world for a method used to elicit a state change in a human brain. Formerly an FDA Class III medical device. Approved by Health Canada. Military approval. Sing Health Innovation Awards. NSF certified for sport. We have 52 medical advisors, the best and brightest academicians, research scientists, and doctors that we built in 2009. Not a single person on our advisory board has ever been paid a penny. They've been gifted nothing. It was curiosity when they realized what we invented that brought them to the table. We have 15 years of clinical research. We are a neuroscience company. Now, today, we're easily confused for mobile app. All that is the form at which we deliver our science. We did that. From 2009 to 2021, we were a $6,000, 4-component, complicated FDA Class III medical device. We were serving people and doing amazing things for people, but it wasn't enough. So in 2016, we began a quest to figure out, how do we make NuCalm affordable, easy to use, and accessible? But NuCalm is not a mobile app company. It is not a music company. It is not an entertainment company. It's not a frequency company. NuCalm is a neuroscience company. By definition, we have an expertise in the nervous system, and we deliver our science through a mobile app to make it easy for you. So that's number one. Number two, let's talk about the efficacy of the product. To be awarded a patent, for any of you studying the art of patent law, you must do two things to an independent attorney group of the patent office. Number one, you must prove that whatever you've invented has never existed before in the history of mankind. That's called prior art. And then, after you've established that, you have to establish irrefutable quantified evidence of all the claims. That's why we have the best and brightest scientists in the world, because in 2009, when we brought NuCalm to market, there was no point of reference. We are pioneers and innovators. We created something that had never previously existed before, and we had solved what was previously unsolvable. You see, NuCalm is not symptom management of the stress response. NuCalm goes right into the midbrain of your brain and interrupts the stress physiology and solves stress at its source. This is a solution. So as a pioneer, there was no point of reference. We had to figure out even our path for research. We had to figure out the whole thing as we went along. NuCalm is powerful. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to explain this power. November 5th, 2009, we prep a surgical patient with NuCalm, no general anesthesia. Walk them in and witness a surgery. Doing surgery without general anesthesia on patients since 2009, we've done more than 2,700,000 surgical procedures replacing general anesthesia. That's the power of NuCalm, and we started in medicine. What do we do? How does NuCalm work? We're not interested in the music. We're not interested in entertainment. We're not interested in distraction. Our hypothesis and the reason NuCalm is here was to solve complex trauma and addiction. And to do that, we went on a quest beginning in 1990 to figure out how can we modulate and pace your brainwave frequency to the deepest level of theta and host your brainwave to oscillate at 4 hertz. Because you see, at 4 hertz, something magical happens in your body. Your cells do their cellular maintenance and the toxins are removed. Your mitochondria, which is the energy source of your cells, is restored. Your sympathetic nervous system, which is your stress response, is almost nothing. There needs to be some tone because your heart needs to beat and you need to breathe. Your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest, is fully activated. Your vagus nerve, which is the communication pathway of the autonomic nervous system, is fully activated. And your breath slows down to 1 breath every 10 seconds, 6 breaths a minute, which is the ultimate diaphragmatic breathing of a human being, which allows for oxygenation from your toes all the way to your prefrontal cortex. So what we figured out was how to modulate your brainwave frequency. We're not delivering frequencies to you. We've been using 432 hertz and 528 hertz and 280 hertz and 132 hertz. We've been using the ancient solfeggio music scale for 17 years. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to modulate the frequency of your brain, which in essence allows you to stop relying on external stimulation to manage your mood, thoughts, and behavior. You see, most of us don't know how our brain works, and we don't even think about how and why we activate our brain. But humans rely on external stimulation to manage their thoughts, mood, and behavior by modulating the frequency of their brainwave. It's called caffeine, sugar, wine, beer, vodka, bourbon, CBD, recreational drugs, pharmaceutical intervention. It's all designed to manage your frequency, which manages your brain. What if with a headphone and a mobile app, you could do that? Safety, effectively, predictably, reliably. We can do no harm, but we can take your brain to any state that you select. There are 5 brainwave frequency categories: delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma, 41 hertz range. When your brain's oscillating in a certain frequency, you're doing something commensurate with that frequency. For example, when your brain's oscillating at 1 hertz, we know what you're doing. You're in dreamless like deep sleep. When your brain oscillates at 4 hertz, we know what you're doing. You're in a lucid dream state, skipping off of deep sleep, and your body is healing and restoring. When your brain's at 18.4 hertz, we know what you're doing. You're in a peak learning state of exceptional concentration, clarity, and comprehension, encoding new information and consolidating that information to memory. From 2009 to 2021, we're an FDA Class III medical device with one defined product: Rescue. Rescue is the key to balancing your nervous system. We have the only patent in the world for balancing the nervous system of a human being. How did we do it? By effectively and predictably oscillating your brainwave frequency to 4 hertz. Now, today on the app, Rescue 20, Rescue 20 VT, and Rescue 20 VT Volume 2, they take you to 4 hertz in 240 seconds. You literally have the capacity to meditate like a monk with no effort, just a headphone and an eye mask and NuCalm Rescue. And at 240 seconds, you're meditating like a monk. So we figured out how to modulate your frequency. And once we did that for 13 years, beginning in 2016, we spent the next 6 years innovating and inventing different outcomes to go across the broad spectrum of your 41 hertz frequency. So today, on a single mobile app, there are 8 products. Rescue and Power Nap are designed to balance your nervous system, increase your cellular resilience, increase your ability to recover, increase your sleep quality, and to keep you healthy. They take you to 4 hertz. Deepest Sleep and Deepest Sleep Plus are the only products that don't require a headphone. With a speaker in your bedroom, it took us 9 years to invent the physics platform for deepest sleep. With a speaker in your bedroom, you press start and we put you to sleep. They're 8-hour and 10-hour programs. Focus with just a headphone, no eye mask while you're working. We take your brainwave frequency to 18.4 hertz. Tremendous peak productivity as your mind is in this distraction-free state of intentional laser focus. Priming and ignite elevate your consciousness and your brainwave frequency to the upper end called gamma. Priming is 40 hertz, higher consciousness, elevated thinking, and this is where we host our collaborations. We have collaborations with world leaders and experts in their field that are sharing their collective wisdom with you while we open up your brain state and make you a permeable learning machine. So the words from Tony Robbins, Jim Quick, Roger Love, Madison Amico Love, Mark Victor Hansen, Dr. Neil Bulchandani, actually imprinted on your soul. That's how you change behaviors and create good habits. Ignite takes you to 41 hertz. From 2017 to 2021, we had 998 elite military warfighters and professional athletes sign an NDA and had access to this technology. With just in-ear buds or headphones, we elevate your frequency to 41 hertz, which activates your gross motor cortex, your sensory motor rhythm, your peripheral vision, your olfactory, put you in a state of peak performance and absolute certainty. Then we have flow state. Flow state gently guides your brainwave frequency to the intersection of alpha and theta at 7.83 hertz, which not by coincidence is the same frequency of the Schumann resonance, which is the Earth's magnetic rotation. 7.83 hertz is access to your subconscious creativity in a relaxed state. That is what we've created. Now, how is this different from a free YouTube track or Calm or Headspace or Endel or Brain FM or the Monroe Institute or the Silva System or Brain Tap? Well, first we start with the fundamental one-word response: science. None of these companies are a neuroscience company. None of these companies have 52 medical advisors, 15 years of clinical studies, patents, FDA, Health Canada. So already we stand alone. But number two, people are becoming clued in to the power of frequency, which excites us. We want you to know the power of resonance, biomodulation, vibration, and frequency, because that's how the world works. Everybody's brain oscillates on a frequency. It's the source of life. Without one, you don't have life. Binaural beat. People are hearing about it. It's cool. It was discovered by a German scientist in 1839. What did he discover? He discovered that the brain's natural compensatory mechanism, if you apply two disparate frequencies, one in each ear, the brain, upon receipt in the midbrain and the caudate nucleus, says, wait a second, these are asynchronous. And the brain naturally subtracts the difference. So if you want to present the brain with 4 hertz, you could, for ease of math, put 512 hertz in your right ear, 508 hertz in your left ear. Brain gets it, processes it, left with 4 hertz. It's fascinating. The brain is fascinating. The compensatory mechanism of the brain is fascinating. This has been discovered in 1839. So almost 200 years of knowledge of binaural beat. But here's where this is different. And here's why Dr. Holloway, the neuroscientist, quantum physicist, naturopath, why it took this brilliant human being 19 years to figure out NuCalm. We're not interested in entertainment, distraction, music, or a cool audio piece. We're interested in modulating your brainwave frequency to suspend your brain at 4 hertz so that your body can naturally heal and we can balance your nervous system. This is completely health regulated. This is completely contingent on our ability to slow down the chaos of your monkey mind, your fight or flight response, your hypervigilance, your worry, your stress, your anxiety, your uncertainty, all of it, and to take you to a place that allows you to heal on demand with no effort and no training. So here's the difference. Binaural beat and isochronic waveform are delivery mechanisms. When I look around the landscape in today's world of all these gizmos and gadgets and apps. None of them are scientific. None of them are delivering science. One NuCalm program is between 250 megabytes and 3 gigabytes, thousands of times larger than a song, because it's the physics and the math underneath that's doing the work. For NuCalm, everything we're doing is inaudible to the human ear. You just hear the music that we originally composed on top of the software. So why is this different? Binaural beat and isochronic waveform are delivery mechanisms. So for example, if I were to order a pizza, when the pizza delivery boy shows up, I don't eat the pizza delivery boy. That's binaural beat. What is on the pizza is what I care about. And that's where NuCalm is different. Unlike anything else in the world, but don't take my advice from it. I'm a CEO of the company. Take the advice of patent law. In 2021, NuCalm was awarded the only patent for a method used to elicit a state change in a human brain. How did we do it? Well, if you're privy to the Monroe Institute, the Silva system, the David system, HoloSync, you'll experience this. The first time you listen to a program, it's amazing. The second time you listen to it, it's really good. The third time you listen to it, it's mediocre. The fourth time you listen to it, nothing happens. You see, they weren't neuroscientists. They didn't spend 19 years trying to figure out the brain. And there's an aspect of the brain that you must address. It's called the reticular activating system, and it's the brain's most powerful filtration system. And it is constantly evaluating your surroundings and anything you stimulate your brain with for patterns. Once it finds a pattern, it finds a shortcut. That's what took NuCalm so long to figure out, because if we didn't trick the reticular activating system, you'd build resistance to NuCalm within minutes. And we were designed to solve trauma, addiction, and to get into surgeries and allow a surgeon to operate on a patient without general anesthesia. We'd better figure this out. What did we figure out? We built a nonlinear oscillating algorithm. So foundationally in the software, the algorithm never stops moving. It's not static. If you want to do high-level alpha and present 12 hertz to the brain, it's not 12 hertz. It's perpetually dynamically moving all the time. Your reticular activating system, when you put on NuCalm, is fully engaged trying to figure out the pattern, but the pattern is nonlinear and perpetually dynamic. That is the key to how NuCalm is different from anything else that's previously ever been created. And that's how we were awarded the only patent in the world. That's why we are a 36-year-old neuroscience company delivering 36 years of patented, clinically proven neuroscience in the form of an app to make it easy for humans to take care of themselves. You see, most people, 7 billion out of the 8.4 billion, have access to a mobile device, which means we can liberate those people from the clutches of stress, which has a detrimental direct correlation to poor sleep. So imagine what life could be like if we reverse the cycle of high stress, poor sleep, high stress, poor sleep, high stress, poor sleep, and reverse that to great stress management and great sleep. You change everything. So we've been on this quest for 36 years, and for 17 years, we've been commercially taking care of millions of people across 106 countries. We are unique. We are different. We have served very powerful audiences for years, and we've done it through science, through innovation. And in that path, as a neuroscience company, we did go through the path of patents. We did go through regulatory. No other company in the space of wellness ever had to do any of that, and they haven't done it. And they can't reverse engineer it. Who's going to start today and spend 36 years trying to figure this out? So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how and why NuCalm is different. We're a science company, a neuroscience company. As a neuroscience company, we had to follow a different path. We're not a commercial entertainment company. We're not a music company. We're not an app company. We're not a late entry into the world of stress and sleep. We've been at this for 36 years. We're the only company in the space of wellness that has the only patent in the world for balancing the nervous system of a human being. The only patent in the world for a method used to elicit a state change in the human brain. The only company in the world with 52 of the world's best academicians, research scientists, and doctors doing independent clinical studies. The only product in the world that went through the FDA as a Class III medical device, Health Canada, military approval, Singapore Health Innovation, NSF certified for sport. We're the only product in this space that replaces general anesthesia for surgery. We've been pioneering this for 36 years. We're happy to see all these new entrants, but pay attention. If something sounds too good to be true, look. If they say it's backed by science, what does that mean? Look at the science. Look at the research studies. Are they independently done? What's the sample size? What's the outcome? What are they trying to do? Follow the science, not the marketing, because it's the science that can help you. NuCalm specifically will balance your nervous system, and a balanced nervous system will change your life. So welcome to the NuCalm family. I hope you found this interesting. We certainly love what we do, and we love pioneering advanced neuroscience to help humanity.